Hello everyone, Pinder Productions here, and today I'm back with round 3 and 4 coverage for the ETCC from my perspective, and this is from the Sebring International Raceway for my Forza improvement series that I've been doing with the ETCC, basically trying to improve my racing ability on Forza 6. So, well, I suppose it's a little bit late since Forza Motorsport 7 is just around the corner, but it gets me ready for that as well. So yes, this is going to be an interesting race as we are loading in now, and we are going to go through the whole grid. EVR Invisible AK is on pole there, you can see in the Scirocco. Then in second we have Hurricane 5, the Pinketeer as he's known. And in third you have me in my updated livery for the Peugeot 308 GTI. And then we have Prod Forza 4 AMG in the BMW, and Rhino GT4, who is streaming these on Twitch on Friday nights, so go check out his Twitch. Racing Heart GT lines up in 6th, with Afternoon 7 again in the BMW in 7th place, so quite ironic there. Jimmy T 1996 there. And then in 9th we have DJ Yuko 10th as a 9K. Some of these people have long gamer tags. Split Skyline R34 in P11. P12 we have the Real Emil, the event organizer, in his Focus ST. And then in last place, MacLeod 100 in the Skittles Scirocco. So let's go to the start of the race now on the replay cameras. You can see there that I make a run to the inside line, and it all looks like everybody is racing cleanly so far. The Scirocco is getting a lead there, as you can see as I go around the inside. It looks like the people on the outside are getting a better, faster racing line, but it all seems clean after turn 1, which is a good way for it to be. This race is 7 laps in total, so this is going to be a long one, but not quite so long as the Brands Hatch races last time out, but the lap time is about double the length, so it kind of makes sense there as to why there are less laps. But it is clean, and I've managed to keep my position so far ahead of the Pinketeer in P4, so this is looking like a good race so far for me. With the French flag on the bonnet, you can see there as a bit of spiritual sort of get going to the Peugeot that I'm driving, basically a bit patriotic for the car, that's the one I'm looking for. But it all looks clean so far still anyway. As you can see, everybody's sort of getting into their positions, getting into a groove, and we're all getting, well, racing cleanly. It's quite good to see a clean online lobby. I mean, this is a private lobby obviously, but yeah, it's good to see. If you do want to join this, by the way, you can check out the Real Emil's channel. I think there's still a few spaces left open if you do have this game and Xbox Live Gold and want to join in with this series, then you still can do that. But anyway, we are still going around the first lap, and you can see on the replay camera, on my bonnet camera, as we go through this left hand corner here, all seems clean, trying to keep up the speed. And then into the right hand corner here, you can see Rhino GT4 making a move on the Pinketeer. They're going side by side as I get a little bit drifty there, doing some Formula Drift, as you can see, and that makes me go losing time to both Rhino GT4, the Pinketeer, and then this Subaru here is able to overtake. So that puts me down into P5, I believe. I'll see in a minute on the actual chase cam when I cut to that. Yes, so I am P6 actually, not P5, behind Jimmy T in his Subaru, I believe, and ahead of the Real Emil in the Focus. So I'm going to have to try and make an overtake here if I can, as I go wide of everyone else, leaving Emil room to overtake if he chooses to. Tap there a little bit on my rear right and his front left, but it's okay. And you can see the Skittles car there of MacLeod 100 making an overtake, getting lots of slipstream off of the both of us, and making it through up into P7 for him now, and up possibly even into P6, but he can't quite do it. He's going to have to try and go around the inside of the Real Emil, and he has been able to do that and get P6, so that puts me down into P8 now. But hopefully I can try and get an overtake into one of these braking zones coming up. No, I can't, not quite close enough to do a dive bomb move here, unfortunately, but it's okay as we can go round. And we are keeping pretty consistent pace at the moment, so if people make mistakes, I could maybe capitalise on that, because last time I was involved in all the mistakes, so I couldn't really improve on my times. Also because I was running traction control last time, and I decided this time I'm going to skip out on traction control and anti-lock brakes and all those assists, because well, they're not really needed in these sort of power cars. I mean, you need them in the Formula 1 cars and things, but for cars like this you don't really need them, because they don't just want to spin you out all the time, and you can get the power down much quicker and much easier without the traction control than with it. So as you can see here, MacLeod 100 has gone wide, and that allows me to get P7. As you can see, the rear mill has also gone a bit wide and kicked up some dust, but it's P7 for me, and that's a good position for me to be in. So as we go into this right-hander here, can we defend our position from MacLeod 100? Yes, we can, and it is all going well. You can see my "I am very slow" warning there to the people behind, just as a bit of banter really, because the last race I got P12 and P11, so you know, a bit of banter there to egg people on to try and overtake it. And there you can see it's working for MacLeod 100 as he gets past on the outside in the Scirocco R there. I think the Scirocco R is slightly better through the corners than the Peugeot. I'm not too sure about that though. I know that the Peugeot is fairly decent in a straight line though. Not the best in a straight line, but it's okay in a straight line. Although, like I said, that the Scirocco R really is getting a lead on me, and I am stuck down in P8 still. And now I'm gaining on Jimmy T here, and you can see the rear Emile goes wide into the barriers there, and that allows me to retake P7 in this race on lap 4. So that is good for the points really, because my target for this race really was to get into the top 10 or P10 really, was, you know, step up another position over the last episode. But I'm in P7 at the moment, which is very good from my point of view anyway, and I'm happy to actually be in the points this time around, so it's very good to have that. And now coming around the final corner on lap 7, it looks like it's going to be P7 for me, so this is a good place to be for the points. Obviously it means I earned some championship points in the standings, and it means that I've been improved by about 4 positions, 4 positions from my previous outing. And there you can see the event results for this race. So you can see me in P7 in the only B-class Peugeot there. The other Peugeot sort of left me for this one. And then you can see the top 3 there as we go to round 4 now for a 6-lap race this time at Sebring International as we go around the grid. And it's going to be in the wet, so you can see Racing Heart GT there in 3rd, Prod Forza 4 AMG in 4th. The Pinketeer starting 2nd again, as you saw. DJ Yuyuko in the Mazda. Blitz Skyline R34 P6 in the Scirocco R, Jimmy T 11996 in P7, and then me in P8 in my Peugeot, P9 as a 9K in the Lonely Lexus, P10 Rhino GT4, P11 we have EVR Invisible AK, so from pole to P11, P12 we have the Real Emile, and once again in P13 we have MacLeod 100, last position for him once again. As we go for the start of this race, no replay cameras this time, and away we go for the start, and it's a clean start so far. I'm going to go around to the outside this time, but I get into the puddle and it means I'm forced into the wall here. I'm going to try and come away cleanly there just about, but it means I'm down into last position. But hopefully I am able to capitalise on other people making a couple of mistakes, because it is in the wet, so it means people might make mistakes. Also, I'm just hoping that I can gain on them. As you can see there, Azza going a little bit sideways allows me to get back up into P12, so already 1 position made up, and you can see the Real Emile going slightly wide there and other people going wide, so I'm able to overtake both the Pinketeer and Prod Forza 4 AMG, but I haven't got any track to race on anymore, and so this is going to be a very difficult race if I can even make it round the race without crashing into someone or a barrier without track. And as you can see here, as I cut forwards, I hit an invisible barrier, so that was basically the end of my race here. As you can see for round 4, everything damaged. I can't even start the car really, or I can just about start the car, so it's going to be difficult to even make it to the pits for this one, because I can't even see where I'm going. I can barely get 20 miles an hour, so I decided to quit this race, which meant I had to watch from the sidelines on the spectator camera. But to be honest, I didn't really know until recently that they updated the spectator camera, so it's actually quite sophisticated for esports. As you can see, Rhino GT4 and the Real Emile here. I'm going to go back to the Real Emile because he is close to someone who is in his slipstream now, and it looks like they're going side by side through the puddles there. Both of them go a little bit wide, through that slight left kink, and they go into the right-hander here. Real Emil has the racing line and he's ahead, but only just as he gets the inside line through the puddle. Looks like everybody is racing fairly cleanly at the moment on my replay camera, at least that I'm watching. You can see the Real Emil getting on the brakes now as the Subaru goes round the outside, can't quite do it, gets on the grass and loses out time to the Real Emil. And now we spectate MacLeod 100 in the Skittles Scirocco to come around the final corner on lap 6 in the wet to get P3. So twice he's gone from last to the podium on this night, and you can see him cross the line there for P3, so well done to him. He drove a good race really there in the wet. Sadly I couldn't take part really in this one because of my connection issues with the track not even loading in. Hopefully it won't happen again though, and I can get some more points obviously. And you can see the results here. I had to screenshot it once again from Rhino GT4's stream. You can see 2 DNFs and then the rest of the field. And that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. There you can see the point system that was shown in the Real Emil's coverage of round 1 and 2. So as you can see, for P7 I got 5 points, so good for the Drivers' Championship and all of that kind of stuff, but also just good fun to race, especially in round 3 for me. Sadly not for round 4. I'm going to leave links to the Real Emil's channel and Rhino GT4's Twitch channel in the description below, so you can check out the Real Emil's YouTube channel because he's got some really good racing game content there, and same thing for Rhino GT4 on Twitch, but also because he's live streaming these events on Friday nights at around 11 PM BST is when you should get yourself on Twitch if you haven't got this game and just watch his perspective, because it is good racing, it's good fun, and it's worth the watch. Next week is Lime Rock Alternative, the full circuit alternative, so I would recommend that you watch next week's stream for Rhino GT4 and next week's video for me as well, because Lime Rock is a really fun circuit to race. I don't know how well I'm going to do, but you never know. This time I got P7, so anything could happen really, and it's going to be a fun race whatever happens. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.